party. In fact, no, we'll go to Andrew Hastie. He's the Shadow Defence Minister. He's talking about the AUKUS submarine deal.
It's going to require leadership from defence itself, from the private sector, from the education sector, from industry. We all have to work together to make this happen, because we can't fail. Yes?
You said money doesn't grow on trees. To date, the coalition's opposed some very modest changes on superannuation. Where on earth is this money going to come from, and are you going to be more open on bipartisan fashion to be able to make the savings to fund this?
Sure. Let's see what the costings are when we get to tomorrow and potentially the budget. But of course, we're going to work with the government to make sure that we can finance this, because as you know, it's a very competitive environment. There are a lot of wants out there. We can't fund them all, and if we're committed to AUKUS, then we need to make sure that we finance it properly. Yes.
Committed to bipartisanship, does that mean you won't be critical of anything along the way in terms of how this is realised?
No, we'll always do our job in a robust way, in the best traditions of the Westminster system. So we will be in opposition, and as I said, we'll be focusing on timing, sequencing and budget. But of course, when we're stepping out into the world like this, with a very difficult task ahead of us, it's really important that we don't make these submarines a political football. It's a multi-generational task before us, and it's going to require maturity, it's going to require prudence, and it's going to require a level of bipartisanship which we probably haven't seen in a generation.
Does the opposition have a preference for where the submarines are ultimately based? Should they be based entirely in Western Australia, East Coast? What's the preference?
There's going to be a second submarine base, and of course this will be a decision for the government, and so let's wait and see what happens. Final question.
Are you concerned that the hybrid designs could lead to delays given they're more technically complicated?
There are always risks in any endeavour, and there are certainly risks in this joint sub, but let's see what happens. And again, it'll come down to political leadership and leadership from those other sectors that I mentioned: industry, the private sector, the education sector. Of course, our relationship with the US and the UK is going to be very important. And so young Australians need to get familiar with a couple of locations in the world. Barrow-in-Furness in the UK is one of them, and of course Rhode Island and Connecticut in the US, where Electric Boat makes the Virginia-class submarines. Thank you very much.